We're here to Mercedes-Benz. Today we're gonna swap the car. We are the new car, GLB Mercedes. Looks so fancy.
Button. These all do the same thing. So this is now a touch screen.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So you can scroll through. This goes really quick when you touch on the screen. If they do the touchpad, it goes one station like at a time.
Yes.
So not as quickly. So if you wanted to jump, you could do that. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then you just say whatever, and it would call through your phone.
Gotcha.
Wow.
See, it's saying voice recognition is active.
Cool.
In each of these menus, they'll have like a little gearbox, which is your settings. So map orientation. So you can do a 2-dimensional heading forward. So this way when you're driving south, it doesn't look like you're going backwards. Or you could do 3D map, which you'll see it tilt and you can kind of see the curvature of the earth and the skies. And then when you go in downtown areas, all the buildings come up in 3D. And then if you hit the auto zoom, it'll bring you closer, You have a complete color spectrum of 64 different choices. You just drag to whatever you like, and it would change to that. And it would only be one color. It wouldn't move around. It just stays on one color. The blues and the purples in sunlight tend to show the best. At night, everything will show. If you have multicolor, then you have a bunch of themes that you can choose from. So blue, purple, red moon is kind of like a two-tone blue on the bottom. And if this multicolor animation is lit, the blue will move to the top, the red will move to the bottom, okay? And then there's lots of these in here.
Wow.
And you can even go to a color mix where it'll go through every color in the spectrum.
Nice.
It just keeps changing. Color flashes of different ones, kind of a blue and yellow. Glacier is like a soft green. Jungle green is just
like green.
Yeah.
So, whatever you like, you can set it there. These, when they're lit, that means they're on. Okay. Welcoming is when you open the door, it all lights up and kind of gives you a welcoming to come into the car.
Okay.
And then climate, so if I make my side hotter now, it turns these things red, so I know I'm making it hotter. If I make it colder, it turns them blue.
Okay, cool.
If you don't want those to change color, you just turn that off.
That's so cool.
And the back button on here, or there gets you back a screen. And then in your brightness levels, you just drag this up and down to, whatever you like is comfortable. So you can get it brighter, tone it down. I would encourage you to set these like at night because you can tell how bright at night you really want it. Okay, so under info, so this is where you get your vehicle information. So this will show you like your steering angle and the steering here. It shows you what percentage you're accelerating versus braking. If we go to engine, it gives you all the pertinent information. Show you how much horsepower you're using, engine torque you're using, your oil temperature, your coolant temperature, your voltage. So you can kind of at a glance, or if you like to look at this kind of stuff, it's interesting when you're on the freeway and you're doing 80 miles an hour, it's like using nothing. It's like nobody uses the full potential of what these cars can really do unless you're really jumping on the car,
Okay.
And then consumption shows you your fuel mileage. So if we were driving now, it would be measuring this in a 30-minute increment, and this would come up in a bar scale showing you how many miles per gallon you're getting. You can change the increment to 7.5 minutes, 93 hours. The default is 30 minutes. And then the entire owner's manual is in here as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
How do you reset the trip odometer?
I'll show you that in a sec. So this is your Mercedes Me buttons. So it shows you your ID. So you're already in there.
Take that off.
Once you start to drive and the satellites hit it and it kind of mates through the system, then you'll be able to start the car, lock it, unlock it, all that. And then, to start it, it's got to be locked. The windows have to be closed. It has to have a quarter tank of fuel in it. pace that would move the car. If you turned it off, you get a warning telling you that it's off. And then that whoops, sorry. Don't want that on. You want your ESP on, obviously.
Unless you're stuck in snow.
Yeah, unless you need to generate, or in the mud or something, you know, if you need to generate, that's where you would turn it off. Your park assist, you know, if somebody was close to you and things going off driving you nuts, or sometimes when there's snow on the car, you know, it keeps beeping, you can turn that off. And then the lane assist, people that don't use their turn signals to change lanes, it has to see lines on the road for that to function. But if you were to slowly drift into the lane next to it and you didn't put your wiper on, it's going to brake the car and try to pull you back in. If you don't like that, you can defeat it.
Is that really jarring or not? Like, so some people have said it like...
I don't think so.
Okay.
You can steer right through it, but you'll get a lot of warnings coming up. You'll show braking.
So I read the way it works is it brakes like one wheel or something to like kind of recenter it or something like that.
It brakes the two wheels on the opposite side of it, so it tries to pull you back by slowing that side of the car down, which would pull it back this way.
Okay. And that's not like too jarring or anything? Some people are saying it like kind of jerks you or like...
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it jerks you. You can definitely feel it working, but if you're continuing to steer through it, you always have a manual override through all these things.
Okay.
Which is why they're not fully autonomous. So, this is a downhill speed regulator. If you're towing, you know, a boat or something, and there was a steep hill that you went down and you were nervous about it, you can make the car go between 1 and 12 miles an hour, whatever you set the speed at, and it'll only make that speed down that hill.
Gotcha.
Assistance, so camera and parking, you can change the volume of the warning tones. You can change the pitch of the warning tones. So I'll just leave them up for now. Like any other computer, you've got control over, you know, certain things like touchpad sensitivity and things like that. Traffic sign assist. So right now, that white square, you'll see a speed limit when you're driving.
Oh, cool.
The cameras actually read the white signs.
Oh.
So it won't read a yellow sign, because a yellow sign is really not the speed limit, it's a recommended speed.
Oh, okay.
Like when they tell you to slow down through a turn or coming off an off-ramp or something. So you can have an audible warning when you're speeding, a visual warning, or nothing. And then you can also set a threshold to not warn you until to 5 miles an hour over. Right now it's just set at the speed limit. They won't let you warn anything over 5. So, and then this is your active lane keeping assist. So it's on, obviously, and then you're going to get a warning when it's functioning. Brake assist. So your Distronic works at 55 miles an hour and over. It's a freeway, it's a cruise control thing. But they have, at lower speeds, like if you're doing 35 miles an hour, and let's say you're driving down the road and the guy ahead of you is going to turn right into a driveway. And you don't slow down because you know he's turning right and you've got plenty of room. Car doesn't know that. It's telling you you're encroaching on him and you're going to get a beeping sound and a flashing light. So you can change, you can make an early setting so it warns you further away, a late setting so it's closer. The default again is medium, or you can turn that feature off. At very low speeds, if someone, let's say, came to a stop and you come to a stop and he takes off and you take off and he slams on his brakes and you don't notice it, it'll lock up the brakes and stop the car. So, but that's only at a very low speed that functions.
Oh, okay.
Whoops. Wrong way. So vehicle, your dynamic select, you had that on your other car where you could change
like the
different
comfort, eco and stuff.
Right. So on this car, when you go up, there's sport, individual, which was in the menu that we were just looking at, your eco, and then your comfort, or off-road rather. Off-road is only for low-speed off-road driving, and it always defaults to comfort, you know, when you start the car. Dynamic select, what you can do is you can take and make the individual different. So you can take what you like about, let's say, the engine. Let's say you like sport in the engine, but the steering, you want to keep it comfortable. You don't want the steering to tighten up. You don't want the suspension to tighten up. So those are both on comfort. So now if you were to toggle this up to individual, you get that sport comfort setting. It gives you a way to manually override, you know, your own personal setting. This automatic seat setting I don't think works. Oh, this is the easy entry. Do you like this to? Oh no, wait. It's only going to move the seat back. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you want that on or no?
We can turn that on.
Okay.
Yeah. Try it out.
Yeah, because this has the thing that locks.
Yeah, this is like manual probably.
Telescopic. Belt adjustment, you know, when you plug your belts in, it tightens down for a minute, make sure they're in the proper position. If you don't like that tightening down, you can turn it off. Do you like the horn to chirp when you lock your car?
Do you have preference on that?
Doesn't matter. We can figure it out later.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's off now. If you want it on, you just hit that. And then the automatic door locks is when you're driving away, it locks the car, so while you're driving, you're locked. And then automatic folding mirrors, when you lock the car, your mirrors fold, so you have a good visual that you know that it's locked.
That's nice.
This is another way to change your lighting in the ambient lighting area, which we went through already.
Oh, okay.
So they have different ways to get to the same thing. Exterior lighting delay, when you lock the car and walking in the house, you can leave them on for 15, 30, 45, or a full minute, or you can turn that off. Anything good?
We're gonna leave this 15 second for now.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have that.
And then the interior delay is like a 10-second delay.
Okay.
Daytime running lights are on, that kind of gives you that rope around the lighting. Locator lighting is when you're approaching the car at night. If you hit the lock or unlock, it wakes the car up, so it'll light up the mirrors on the ground and the front and back, so you can
that's so
navigate
cool.
around the car at night. Yeah, it's a nice feature. It's also helpful in finding your car.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I actually
I
thought
always
before.
lost where's my car.
Most people just hit the panic button and the alarm goes off.
Yep.
So in system settings, these are all your controls for like the touchpad, and if you had an accent, it could learn your accent. You know,
Oh,
different types of things. So in design and display though, so if we hit that, right now we're on a classic design, which is what that display is. So if we go into there, you could go sport, it turns it yellow.
Oh.
You can go progressive.
Wow.
And then here's another way that you can adjust.
Oh, adjust this. That's the same
Yeah,
menu.
so let's just go back to classic for now. And then you can change the brightness, you can turn the display off. And then in your controls, this is where you'd find your controls for sensitivity, stuff like that. Audio controls, you know, if you wanted your phone reception, whether it's coming in or going out, to be louder or softer, all those controls, just like a computer, you have all that, your time and date. Let's just go in there real quick. So we're on automatic time zone. So not only will it set for like daylight savings time, but if you drove to Chicago, it would adjust, it would know you're in a different time zone.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I always hate having to fix the daylight savings time.
yeah.
It's so smart now, getting.
Yep, and then of course multiple languages you can use. Change the units.
Oh,
So
the
just
unit can
a
change.
lot of overrides. So this is your main menu when you hit home.
Okay.
So see where it says themes, you go down. So if I swipe this whole screen upward, there's another menu below it. These are themes that Mercedes created, these first few. So if you're going adventure, it turns you the off-road transmission on. And it'll play a certain type of music that they think is adventurous. Trip and comfort might be more of a soothing experience, you know. So you can create your own themes and set up all these things your own. If you ever inadvertently hit one of these things and change all that, you just hit standard. It takes you back to where you were before.
Okay.
And if we go down one more time, then you have favorites menu. This can be helpful in a lot of ways. So you can go through a setup assistant, it'll show you what it can do and stuff like that. Quick way to get to your sound, to adjust your bass and treble, that kind of stuff. Go back. You can turn the display off quickly here. You can look for similar type music that you'd like. the owner's manual, so it's another quick reference. If you hit this, and let's say we go into comfort, we can set your ambient lighting there too.
Oh, there you go.
So now you can
easy
just,
way for you
Yep.
to get to that.
So instead of having to swipe down twice to get to your favorites, this star right here, you just push down and it jumps right to them.
Oh, cool.
If you want to set new order, you can flop the favorites up above the themes. So if you wanted to swipe down, you can only swipe down one menu. It just changes the order of that particular thing. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do in here.
Yeah.
Once you get everything set up to your liking, let's say you're both driving the car 50%, and you like all different kinds of songs and stations, and you want to set your favorites differently, you can hit profiles and you can set up your own profile. So even down to the dash and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So going back to the radio and your favorites, we've got 5 here, so there's 20 total favorites that you can set up.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay.
If you push straight down, it mutes it. Same thing on this volume button. So that's that whole system. If we go to, and again, all of this you can control on this touchpad by moving it up or down. That touchpad does this. So you wanted to do your reset on your trip odometer. So if you push that center touchpad straight in like an enter, and then highlight yes. So swipe down gently, and then push in like an enter. So now you're to 0. So see those dots there? So keep swiping down, and you're going to go through a menu that's
I see.
consumption and measures how you drive. If you want to reset your fuel mileage averages, all that stuff.
Cool.
Okay, and then if you swipe to the right with that, now one more. Oh, that way. Yep. Now go down. You can change what you see there.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So like you can get your nav there, all different types of things.
Oh, cool. You can get nav there.
And that's your tachometer. So just know that you have, all those choices of kind of customizing
You can
it
do that on this
to.
side too.
Yep.
So cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can really personalize the settings to, get the information that you want.
What's this button do?
So that turns on your Distronic and your cruise control. You used to have a stalk on the side.
Yep.
That turns it on. That stalk is now
the same
gone.
as that. Gotcha. Oh, and then this must
Before
be the
you,
distance.
that's the distance, right? Before you set it, you have to turn it on. So it won't. Your cruise won't work until you turn the system
so
on.
you always have to press this
Yep,
button.
hit that first, and then when you hit that, you'll get a insignia that comes up letting you know that it's on. And then on the, remember how on your stalk, if you touch it gently, it jumps 1 mile an hour. If you hit it firmly, it jumps 5.
Yep.
It does the same thing on that button. So on the
This
LSL,
thing?
yep, you'll feel when you push up a little resistance, then you can go beyond it. So same thing on the accelerator versus deceleration. And
This is cancel.
yeah, resume or cancel. So if you wanted to turn it off or resume the last speed set,
Nice.
does that. Yep. And then your wipers are the same as before. This is all the same as before. Park, you push the button in. Your paddle shifter is all the same. This is all the same. Your 4-way flashers is there now. I don't know if that was there in your car. It might have been a different location. Sync, does both temperatures the same.
Oh, okay, so that's the dual.
So you don't have to do it twice. If you hit this menu, you can do it all digitally as well.
Oh, cool.
And you can, scroll around up and down. Like if you, let's say you're driving through an ice storm and you're having a hard time keeping up on the defrost and it's freezing over, and you don't want to hit this power defrost because it's blowing at like 100 degrees. You want it to blow at 72. You can touch here and prioritize defrost. Like this would be like a bi-level. If you wanted only defrost, it would be that. All 3.
Oh, smarter.
vents.
They're smarter.
So that's
That
it.
always drove you crazy on the old one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could just hit auto, and then you get the full kind of general airflow. That's your max defrost for like if you come out and want to de-ice the windshield or something like that. Rear defrost. Recirculation button if you're sitting behind a bus or a truck. Limit the intake of the outside air. Shutting the system completely off. AC on. Synchronizes on. So you can do all that here or up here.
Okay.
Just by hitting the menu button.
Okay.
So that's a little different than before too.
Is the what was it, the parking system, that works the same as the old car?
Yeah, so that's this button here. So when you're in drive, like go ahead and put your foot on the brake and just put the car in drive, and then so as you're approaching the space, you hit this button. And then if we were moving, you would see radar shooting out both sides. So the idea is to drive completely past the spot. Once you go past it, a rectangle will come up. If you hit that rectangle, then it's going to tell you put the car in reverse, and then you take your hands off the wheel and the brake, and it does its thing and parks you.
Okay, like you'll see that on this screen here?
Yep, and if the rectangle is going this way, it's a straight pull-in spot. If it's elongated, it thinks it's a parallel spot. So that's how you know the difference. And it'll come up on both sides depending on which side you're looking for.
Okay.
These warnings are because we're close to the wall back there.
Okay.
So just, and while we're in here, so your normal backup view is this. So you get the overview of the car. This is telling you you're close to that wall. If you were backing out, and let's say, you know, there's a big SUV here and you can't see to back out who's coming down the aisle, you hit the wide view and you'll be able to see all the way down both ends of the road. These are your close-ups for your sides of your car and the overview front. So if you're pulling out of an alley, you can see how much more, you know, you can see. And that's your parking view, and then that puts you back in the park. And do you know how the brake hold feature works?
Oh, where you hold,
push down,
yep,
yeah, and then
yep.
the word hold comes up and you can take your foot off the brake.
Yep, I do that all the time.
Yeah, I do too. So these are just quick touches, like to settings, favorites, you know, your telephone, nav, radio, and then, you know, volume, tilt up and down, push down for mute. It's pretty much all the same.
Quick question.
Yeah, door openers here for your garage doors.
Is there a wireless quick charge on this car?
If there was, it would be in here.
Okay.
I don't know if you ordered that or not.
I don't think we.
Oh, we don't. Okay.
We didn't order it.
Oh, okay.
At least I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can lay my phone in there.
That'll be our phone holder then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, so for your Mercedes Me, you used to have 3 buttons, like a roadside assistance button. Now you only have 2. So roadside assistance or information or whatever, you just hit Mercedes Me. This goes to EMS, so you have to open the door and then hit the button.
Okay.
Oh.
They don't want you pushing that
By accident.
inadvertently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then these are your map lights on both sides under the mirrors. This one turns this light on. If this is lit, this light won't come on when you open the door.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And then if it's off, then it will come on like a courtesy.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
Oh, and you know how you like when you come to a stop and your engine turns off? So the defeat for that now is below your start button.
Okay.
You hit that
The
button and
automatic.
it tells you it's off.
Gotcha.
So if you're in a line of traffic, keep moving up and it's turning on and off, you know, you can defeat that. But usually when you get used to it, you don't even know it's doing it.
Yep.
And then your mirrors, you know, everything over there is the same as your car was before.
Yep. Cool.
That's a new car.
Yep.
So it uses stop like that.
Yeah. Right. Oh, nice. More space now.
And
Feels
then
like.
those, you lift those handles. These are all up because they clean.
Yep. You want to help it?
Oh, that might be all the way down.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll figure it out.
I think that is all the way down.
Oh, it is? I think it's all the way down already.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And then there's a charger back there too.
Oh,
Over here.
charger.
So when the seats are up,
Then they can
they
put.
can have their
Oh,
own.
people
Yep.
get their own.
So
Yeah.
convenient. I like it.
It is,
I think I
yeah.
saw it. Yeah. All
And
right.
then,
Watch your head.
this shuts it. This shuts it and locks it.
Oh.
So if the last thing you're doing is exiting from here, you can just hit this, and as long as your key's on you, you know, it'll shut it.